You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith. The people are real, the cases are real, the rulings are final. This is Judge Judy. When we can't stop judging other people's choices, welcome to Judge Meredith, who judges everyone and their decisions quietly, sometimes not so quiet. I'm going to admit, sometimes I send some texts over to the besties and say, what the heck were they thinking? Yeah, so if you are a judge of life, judge of character, judge of any kind of decision making, welcome to the club. Let's get better at it. Because all it does is hurt us, right? All it does is hurt us. Do you ever catch yourself getting way too worked up about other people's decisions? Let's try and say that correctly, Meredith. Maybe a friend makes a choice that you would never make, or you're just surprised at it, which usually that's what I am. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing now. I find myself saying that all the time. And you're just stuck reeling, wondering why they did that. Maybe judging a little bit in your head, feeling frustrated that they don't see it the way that you do. You know, they call it outside sources, someone looking in. You don't want to be judgy, but here we are, unable to let go. I just had something happen a couple weeks ago, and I thought, wow, that was a really bad decision. But I didn't say anything. I was just like, that's not going to be great. But you just go with it, right? So let's talk about why we struggle with other people's choices, how it fuels our anxiety. Anxiety makes me poop, and how to finally let it go, right? Just let that shit go, okay? Why do we care so much, first of all? I got some notes here. Why does this even happen? Why do we care so much? Why do other people's choices get under our skin so much? If we just kind of go, what the heck, right? Do we have control issues? Yes, I know I do. I don't know if you do, but I do. When we judge someone's choices, it's often because we would have done it differently. And we can't understand why they didn't see it the way that we were seeing it. Maybe we care so much because we have fear of consequences. Maybe it eventually will come back to us, or maybe we've been through it. So we have fear of consequences, so we see someone else do it, and we're like, oh, that may not turn out right. But guess what? We all have different paths. Sometimes it's not just about disliking their choice. It's about being afraid of what might happen because of it. Why would they quit their stable job with nothing after it? It's so unstable. But guess what? We don't know how they're feeling. We don't know what's going on. Maybe they only told us a little bit of that job, that stable job that they had. We don't know. People get done sometimes. They're done. I'm out. And for us, we would be way too nervous, right? We would think of all the different things that would happen, like not being able to pay bills, not being able to get that other job, not being able to get on any type of support, anything like that, right? But maybe they see it differently because they have a different path. Or how about protecting our own insecurities? Oh boy, point the finger back. If we secretly worry about making the same mistake, we might judge them more harshly and create that distance, right? Judgment isn't always about them, okay? So the reason why we might be judging or looking at stuff that they're doing, it's often about us, like our fears, our preferences, our own need for control. So think about that. Do you fall in that? I know I do. That's why I judge. I judge Judy hard. I judged Meredith. I've actually gotten a lot better, but I still definitely judge. And that's because I am a very controlling person because of the way I was raised. I have to be in control of everything. It is very hard for me to let things go. I may not hardly even know the person. I'll be watching a show and they'll make a decision. I'll be like, really? Really? You ever find yourself saying that? Yikes. Let's talk about the anxiety loop of judgment. When we fixate on someone else's decision, it can create an anxiety spiral that might look like this. It might look like this. So we see or hear about their choice. We start analyzing it in our heads. Like, in other words, why would they do that? Then we try to solve it. Maybe we say we did the should haves, right? Maybe I should talk to them about it. Maybe I should make them see my point of view. But why would we do that? We've already talked about this in episodes past, right? Let them make their own decisions. We make our decisions. It's our battle. It's their battle, right? We may see something different. We get anxious about their future. Maybe this is going to be a disaster and we just know it because we've tried the same thing. We are experienced in the decision making. This is what we're saying, right? And then we're seeing them make a decision and they're going down maybe a similar path that we did. And we're like, whoa, hold on. It's going to be a disaster. I'm telling you. But again, we all have different paths. Maybe the anxiety loop of judgment is feeling frustrated and stuck. Like, why can't I just stop thinking about this? Maybe that just comes down to that. That's mine. Go make your choices. Go make your choices. I'm going to judge you, but really it's about just constantly thinking about it. I saw someone make a decision a couple weeks ago and I thought, oh, really? Wow. Okay. And I thought to myself, that is going to come back to me. That's going to come back to me. I'm going to have to worry about it. And sure enough, I did. So I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And then another decision was made and I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to come back to me again. It's going to put so much anxiety on me. But guess what? The second time around, I said, that's on you. Do not ask me to help. Please do not ask me to save this decision because I've already told you once that it was going to come back on me. It came back on me and now you're doing it again. And I don't want to be part of it. And guess what? I wasn't. It actually fell on someone else. It took some of the anxiety away, which isn't fair to the other person. I'm just saying. The second time around, I was like, please don't. So that's kind of the anxiety loop of judgment. That's sometimes why we judge, because all of a sudden something comes back on us 1, 2, 3, 4 times. They're making their decisions, but then it's our problem then, right? Because we're controlling and we have the anxiety. And if you want something done, give it to a busy person. And I mean, there's just so much stuff that comes in with this topic. And I will not touch it all on this quick episode. So, however you judge people or however you just think, holy cow, what are they thinking? There is valid reasons. I'm not saying that you don't judge for a reason, or maybe because you, like I said, you had the experience. So let's just stay that way too. Stay clear of judging yourself on this too. But we're going to learn how to stop caring and free up some mental space. So we acknowledge that we judge. We acknowledge that we go, oh man, please don't make that decision. It's going to come back to me. Get your anxiety. You're anxious about the future. Maybe you just care so much about them. Maybe it's a spouse, a child, a best friend, a good team member, whatever. Right? But how do we stop caring and free up that mental space? All right. So how do we stop obsessing over other people's choices? And I'm just a couple strategies that can help you do it your own way, right? Or get with your therapist or your life coach, right? But here's a couple. Remind yourself that it's their life, not yours, as long as it doesn't affect you, okay? Repeat this phrase. I don't have to live with this decision. They do, right? It's their decision. It's their life. It's not ours. It's not yours. You might not like their choice, but you don't have to deal with the outcome. They do. Again, as long as you're not incorporated in it, right? As long as the pressure doesn't go on you, because they can try it once, but then the second time you're going to tell them, nope, I do not support. Do not have it come back on me, right? Check your ego. Ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? Or does it really bother me so much? Do I just feel like sharing it with someone going, really? And then you're like, okay, I'm good. But if it is bothering you so much, maybe it's someone that you're really close to, you just keep seeing them making the wrong mistakes. And you're like, oh my gosh. Is it because they made a bad choice or because it doesn't align with what we want them to do? Or a lot of people just say, I just want to see you happy. They still have to make their own choice though. They still have to make their own choice. The truth is people have the right to make mistakes just like we have. Let them make the mistakes and then be there for them. Now, I'm also saying, I'm going to reverse that and say, it may not be a mistake. It may have been a mistake for you to make the choice and now they're making something similar, but it may work out for them because, again, 2 different paths. Reframe the story. Instead of, they're making a terrible decision, Just try saying to yourself, they're making the best decision for themselves with the information that they have right now, which is what we all do. I know this, and this. I'm going to make the best decision for myself with the information that I have. They are doing the same. Even if it seems like a bad move, they're likely doing what makes sense to them with the information they have. Let them do it. Let them do it. It may turn out great. And then you're going to celebrate with them. And it may not. And then you're going to support them. Right? No one's going anywhere. Ask yourself, what would happen if I let this go? Whew, gone. Just let it go. Would your life change? No. Would their life change? No. Would you feel calmer? Less anxiety? Would you feel lighter? Absolutely yes. Let it go. You see it. You saw them make the decision. You went, oh, all right. But I'm going to let you make that decision. I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to let you walk your own path because it's different than mine. And you know what? Holding on to judgment only drains you. They're probably out there living their life completely unaware that you're actually just reeling about their choices. Because we're all stuck in our own heads. If you're listening, you might be someone that's stuck in your own head. And that's why you're listening. So it just drains you. Think about that. How much lighter would I be if I didn't worry about anything? Gosh, I have a friend that worries about nothing. He is fantastic. I'll start saying something and he'll be like, what can you do about it? Why are you even mentioning it? Why are you even worried about it? And his voice plays in my head sometimes. In a good way. Like, why are you worried about that? Let it go. Make yourself lighter. Use what's called the future test. Okay, so you see something happen, you go, holy cow, that is a terrible decision because I just did that last year and you saw what I went through and now you're going to make that same decision. Again, two separate paths, so we don't know the outcome ever of anything. But here's the future test. Will this choice still bother me in a week? Will their choice bother me in a week? Probably not. Probably forget about it. They're probably making another bad choice. No, I'm just kidding. Judge Meredith. Will this choice bother us in a year? If it doesn't affect us. Sometimes you got to speak up if it's something that's going to affect you or give you more work or bring you back in, right? Come back around to you. Okay? But is the choice going to bother you in a week? Is it going to bother you in a year? If the answer is no, because you kind of go, all right, I'm letting this go. We're going to see how this plays out. I will support them or I will celebrate with them. It's not worth your energy today. It's not worth it. So let's go back to what if their choice actually affects you, okay? We've kind of been mentioning that throughout. What if their decision does impact your life? Maybe a coworker slacking off. Maybe a friend makes a choice that drags you into a mess. Here's how to handle it. Set your boundaries. Set your boundaries. That's like how I said that was my number 2 and number 3. Nope. I'm setting my boundaries. If their choice affects you, you have the right to limit how much you are involved. Use your words. Set your boundaries. I'm not doing this again for you. And this is if it's out of control, right? It's out of control and it drags you into it. You're going to set your boundaries. Communicate without controlling. I have a tough time with this. I am definitely someone that needs to be in control 100% of the time. Again, it's just how my life has been. But I've learned to say I totally respect your choice, but I need to do what's best for me too. Like, I hear you. I get it. Go make that choice. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to communicate, though, that I need to do what's best for me too. Accept that people will be people. We've said it. We're all human. Even if you know their decision isn't great, you can't make them change. All you can do is protect your own peace. Now, that's if their choice affects us, right? Set your boundaries. Communicate without controlling. Hey, I need to do what's best for me. Accept that people will be people. All you can do is protect your peace, your mind. Clear the fog from your brain. Go enjoy yourself. Don't sit around thinking about it, because guess what? They probably aren't. They probably aren't thinking about it. So you shouldn't either. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. At the end of the day, judging people's choices doesn't change them. It really just stresses you out. So next time you catch yourself just reeling or spiraling over someone else's decision, try this. Pause. Notice that you're doing it. Notice that you're doing it. Say, well, why am I being a judge? Why am I judging here? Detach from it. Remind yourself, this isn't my life to manage. This isn't my life to manage. And then refocus. Or like I always like to say, redirect. Put that energy into something you actually have control over. Do something for you today. If you're listening, you're like, yep, I am so fogged about this person's decision for all the above reasons. Go take a walk. Go put your energy into something else. Go do something that you love. Step away from the situation right now, if you can. The less you stress about things outside your control, the lighter and freer you'll feel. We would hope, right? Take a deep breath and let that shit go, man. Let it go. Goodbye. See you later. I will not stress about it. Let it go. LTSG. Let that shit go. All right. If you have any ideas that you would like me to talk about, anxietymakesmepoop@gmail.com. Send me a note. Send me a note. Give us 5 stars so I can keep recording every day because I love this. This is like real-time stuff that I just research and go, yep, I'm going to talk about that because I hope someone can relate. Also, we are almost 300% above our regular listeners just in this past month, and I appreciate you and those numbers so much. Thank you so much. Go see what else we have to offer. Go look at our notes on this episode because we have so much to offer. We just want to be there. We just want other people that can relate and just know that we're all here for each other. Take care of you. Take care of each other. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you again.